Unbelievable. Except that he's mad. Except there's a person in the middle of a mental break. And I say that, again, advisedly, because I'm not here to pathologize people's evil. In fact, I prefer for people to take responsibility for their evil. This person is in the middle of a mental breakdown on Earth, Kanye West, who now wishes to be known as Ye. What we've been watching here is obviously a manic episode from a person who has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I've been saying this since the very beginning. Several things can be true at once. One, Ye West, Kanye West, he is a Jew hater. Pretty obviously, there is no way to avoid that conclusion. The stuff that he's been ranting and raving over the past several weeks demonstrates that he doesn't just hate specific Jews, he hates the Jews.
But if what you were saying, if he's a manic and he's going through a lot of stuff mentally, maybe that's not him that hate Jews. Maybe he's just saying those things. Although I'm with you.
The Jews are the problem, according to Kanye West. He has been spewing Der Stürmer, Nazi-esque anti-Semitism for weeks, and last night on Alex Jones's show, he made that perfectly clear. So that is true.
He did.
It is also true that Kanye West is a person with bipolar disorder, and this is a person in the middle of a manic episode because there's no other way to explain his behavior. It's not performance art. It's not some sort of rational argument on behalf of hatred of Jews. He leaves that to Nick Fuentes.
If Fox News published I didn't see anything on YouTube at all. Now, I'm sure you going fishing looking for something, but feel free to send me the link and show me why they aren't speaking of it at all like everyone else. Everyone else are still speaking of it. Everyone.
The fact is that Ye West is in the middle of a mental breakdown, and we are watching it on the world's most public stage. It is the most famous person to have a mental breakdown probably since Howard Hughes publicly. And that says something about how our media cover mental breakdowns. It says something about how American society treats madness. We seem to treat really outlying insanity as a form of rationality. And meanwhile, we treat kind of borderline normal behavior as mentally ill. So we tend to overdiagnose, for example, depression, anxiety, ADHD, right? Things that are sort of on the borderline of normalcy. We tend to overprescribe for those things. Those things exist. Some people need prescription medication for that, but we tend to overprescribe that. And we wildly underserve people who have serious mental disorders, ranging from bipolar disorder to schizophrenia. And we treat that as though it is normal behavior. And finally, while being mad, while being disturbed does not relieve you of responsibility for your Jew hatred, it does suggest that we ought to take the pronouncements of Ye West with a certain lack of seriousness because this is a person in the middle of an episode. You know, there's no other way to play it. And honestly, I can despise what he is saying because what he is saying is evil. And I can also recognize that this is a person who needs treatment, not a camera.
That's right. Thank you. He needs treatment. No more cameras and microphones. Keep microphones and cameras out that man's face, please. Please. Because he knows that he still has a voice more than any time ever. People are waiting to hear him say something. They need to hear him say something. He's keeping his name in people's heads all the daggone time. And most people who see him acting the way he's acting, they're not hating him for it. They're actually feeling bad for him. They're feeling sorry for him.
This person needs treatment, not a set of lights in his face. And there are a lot of people out there who are making a lot of money off of Ye by putting him in front of a camera. There are a lot of people who are cynically utilizing this person's mental breakdown in order to facilitate their own career. And here I'm thinking specifically of Nick Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos. There are a bunch of people around Ye who could be attempting to get him the treatment he obviously needs. Again, I'm not here to pathologize people's insane thoughts or evil thoughts. Again, he's sitting across from Nick Fuentes, who routinely engages in evil thoughts. Okay, but Nick Fuentes is not an insane person. Nick Fuentes is not having a mental breakdown. He just thinks evil things. Ye West, after his display over the past week particularly, whatever you thought of him before, whether you thought that he was just an erratic personality who had decided to spew anti-Semitism, or whether you thought that he was perfectly rational, it is obvious over the course of the past several weeks that this is not the case and has not been the case for a while. Ranging from his tweet storm in which he talked about Chris Paul stooping his wife to his defense of Balenciaga to the actual appearance on Alex Jones. So we'll start this in order. The only reason I'm playing these clips is because it's important for people to recognize, because I'm seeing a lot of people who are denying that what we are seeing from Ye here is actual mental illness. It is mental illness. Hey, this is disturbed behavior.
Yes, it is. Absolutely, 1000%.
Any doctor will tell you that this is disturbed behavior. First of all, I know psychologists who have spoken with Ye. He is obviously disturbed, but you don't have to be a doctor to know this. This is a disturbed human being. And you can see it last night. When you are on a set with Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones, and those are the two rational guys in the room trying to pull you back from the brink, looking embarrassed by you standing for Hitler. At that point, you have to start wondering, is there a problem? I mean, your first indicator that there's a problem is when you stride into Alex Jones's studio. First of all, that in and of itself, not great. You stride into Alex Jones's studio wearing what appears to be an oversized baggy jacket and a full face covering black mask. When I say a mask, I don't mean like just face. It covers his entire head. It looks like he's about to go rob a bank, except you can't even see his eyes. Ye West. I mean, he's literally there with what looks like a black sock over his head. Apparently, it's a Balenciaga sock over his head, as we'll discuss in a moment. He actually defended Balenciaga yesterday. So for all those people on the right who are saying, well, he's a good Christian who's just defending our honor. First of all, if this is your Christian lineup, right? If this is the best Western Christendom has to offer, is Ye last night, Alex Jones, and Nick Fuentes, Western Christendom is in serious, serious trouble. But this guy yesterday was defending the company that put out pedophilic ads. So there are a lot of problems. So he walks in and he sits down looking like this. For folks, again, who cannot see, he is sitting on the far left-hand side of the screen, and he is wearing a very oversized baggy jacket, and he is wearing a full-on black sock over his head. You cannot see his eyes. You cannot see his face. You cannot see anything about him except what looks like it's like an eraser head. And then you've got Alex Jones in the middle, and then you have Nick Fuentes on the end wearing some sort of blue hoodie sweatshirt. Okay, so here's Alex Jones with Ye West yesterday.
Well, that's right. You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve.
The reason why I'm checking Ben Shapiro out as he takes account for what's going on, I want to see how he communicates his points from the eyes of a Jewish conservative. I really want to hear that from the eyes of a Jewish conservative, someone on the front lines. I think he's a libertarian, though. I think he said that, but he's still on the front lines, and he is still on the right, in my opinion.
Deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about her also. I love everyone, and Jewish people are not going to tell me you can love us, and you can love what we're.
I always hated this part of the movie of American History X. I always hated this part of the movie.
Doing to you with the contracts, and you can love what we're pushing with the pornography. But this guy that invented highways, invented the very microphone that I use as a musician, you can't say out loud that this person ever did anything good, and I'm done with that. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
Especially.
Yep, he said especially, Ben. That's exactly what he said, especially.
Okay, now, coming out of a person who is not wearing a face covering mask and who is not about to launch, sitting next to a copy of the Holy Bible, by the way. He's speaking just as Jesus would here, Ye West. Coming from a just normal anti-Semite, and there are some other people on the screen you could choose from, you would say that this is just pure rote anti-Semitism. But as I say, I don't think this is just pure rote, disgusting, craven anti-Semitism. It is, but I don't think that's the limit of it. As you can see, Alex Jones gets more and more uncomfortable here, and there is a certain perverse hilarity to the fact that Alex Jones is the moderate on the panel, that Alex Jones is suddenly Larry King here. But here's Alex Jones, again, trying to walk Ye West back from the Hitler support, the open Hitler support, and Ye just jumping into both feet.
I like her.
I don't like Hitler. And I know you're trying to be shocking with that.
I'm not trying to be shocking. I like her. I do not. The Holocaust is not what happened. Let's look at the facts of that. And Hitler has a lot of redeeming qualities.
Unbelievable.
Ben has been real cool for my taste. I thought Ben was going to be pissed off. I thought Ben was going to be turned up for real. But he's been a real cool character right now. He's showing me something right now. He really is.
Unbelievable. Except that he's mad. Except there's a person in the middle of a mental break. And I say that, again, advisedly, because I'm not here to pathologize people's evil. In fact, I prefer for people to take responsibility for their evil. This person is in the middle of a mental breakdown. And it's not just from that clip or from his garb. It is from this clip. I mean, where he actively starts, he took out, the prime minister of Israel is a person named Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay, Bibi Netanyahu, as he is called, Ye brought to the studio a small Met and a bottle of Yoo-hoo. I'm not kidding you, like the chocolate milk, Yoo-hoo. And he started trotting them around the table while doing the supposed voice of Benjamin Netanyahu, who he accused of attempting to kill him. This is mad behavior. This is mentally disturbed behavior. This is not something, if you saw a person on the street doing this, you would understand this is a mentally disturbed person. If you saw this in the halls of a mental hospital, you would understand this is a mentally disturbed person. You put him on TV, and suddenly we're supposed to treat it like celebrity behavior. We're supposed to treat every behavior by a celebrity as celebrity behavior, up until the point when they actually do something terrible to themselves. I mean, honestly, that's my great fear here for Ye West, is that if he is in the middle of a manic episode, the depression on the other side of the mania very often is coincident with the level of the mania. So if the mania is really high, the depression is really low. So I mean, I would not be surprised, God forbid, something should happen, that Ye should do something to himself, given his behavior. I mean, again, my grandfather was schizophrenic. I know what serious mental illness looks like. This is serious mental illness, and we are watching it. And people are treating it for a variety of reasons as though it is not mentally ill behavior. You have some people on the left treating it as though it's not mentally ill behavior so that they can link Ye West's despicable views on Jews with Donald Trump, and then Donald Trump by proxy to the entire Republican Party. You have some people in the media who are treating it not that way because they wish to make money off the ratings. I feel bad even talking about this a little bit at this point, given the fact that this is a disturbed individual. But again, I keep saying he's a disturbed individual because I want people to understand, number one, that the words he is saying make no sense. And that's not an insult. They don't make any sense. They are nonsensical. And I also would love for people to understand, who are defending Ye West, that when you defend a person who's in the middle of a mental episode, you are not doing them any good. You are not adding value to the world. You're doing something quite cruel. And here's Ye West going mad on air. I mean, there's no other way to put this.
It sounds like he's really concerned about his mental well-being. And right now, he just realizes that Ye is not in a position to be in front of a microphone and camera right now. He needs to be somewhere getting the treatment he deserves or that he feels he needs, because by putting this hate out here in the world is not making anything better, bro. People just continue to give him platforms so that he can say those things, man. Now, if he wanted to come talk to me, I ain't gonna lie, I'll let him come talk to me, but as if he would ever come talk to me. But if he did, he and I would have like a serious conversation. Like, he would literally get checked in a way that nobody else is checking him right there in his face. He's being very fair right now to Kanye, and a lot more fair than I thought he was going to be, being that he is a Jewish conservative.
The ADL had a meeting 2 weeks ago and said, Alex Jones is an agent of evil. He should be taken off the air. He's the devil because he doesn't want you to take 4 shots. And I'm like, what are you doing calling me anti-Semitic? I'm not against groups. I don't get into group politics.
Adam, I've got the perfect answer for the ADL. They are going to have to listen up. What we did is we brought Netanyahu with us. Netanyahu, what do you have to say? What do you have to say to Alex Jones right now, Nick Fuentes and Ye? It was bad. It was bad for Trump to meet with Nick and Ye. Okay. I had no idea your voice is going to sound like that, Netanyahu.
This is wild. I mean, this is, even Alex Jones on the air was calling this crazy, and Ye was like, who are you calling crazy? And Alex Jones like, the whole world is crazy. The whole world's crazy. But what he really means is you are crazy. When Alex Jones is calling you crazy, obviously there is a problem. I mean, even Alex Jones, throughout the interview, again, the rich irony of this is that Alex Jones has finally been embarrassed by another human being. He is an embarrassing human being all on his own, and he was embarrassed by another human being here, being Ye. And you can actually see it on camera. Here's a little bit of that.
So you don't like Benjamin Netanyahu?
I just heard about this guy 2 weeks ago since like the tweet, and I thought he had a funny name. I heard he's like really into like, he's like a super killer. I could die for saying this. So in case this the last time you ever hear from me.
I'm glad you
Wow. Why he got keep on cutting on his Mickey Mouse voice, man? Why? What's that about?
guys are here, and we can sit here and upset. All I'm telling you is, do you guys realize that the British government created him and the Milner Group put him in power, and there's something much more sophisticated. And I personally think that most Jews are great people, and I understand there's a Jewish mafia, and they're used to demonize anybody that promotes freedom, but I don't blame Jews in general.
Alex Jones trying to walk back Jew hatred there.
Yeah, Alex Jones is trying to clean things up. I ain't got no problem with the Jewish community. I ain't got no problem with the Jews. The Jews are okay with me, so I don't know what's going on here. You know what I mean? I ain't got nothing to do with this, what he said.
I know the Jews, man, and then the British created him, but most Jews are, I mean, like Alex Jones trying to play the moderate, man. Okay, so, again.
He do sound like Elmo. That's what he sound like. He don't sound like Mickey Mouse. He sound like Elmo. It sound like he got a little string coming out his ass and somebody pulled the string and then he started talking like that.
Ye West is I keep saying it over and over because I think that there are too many people out there who are pretending that it is not the case for a variety of reasons. Yesterday, Ye West tweeted out before being banned from Twitter, which we'll discuss in a moment, quote, "I stand by Balenciaga and denounce all witch hunts, and I cancel culture. Jesus is king. Ending trafficking doesn't start or end with a fashion campaign. For Christ's sake." And then he tweeted again, featuring a picture of himself. "Never turn our backs. Demna and the Balenciaga family for life. Cancel culture. Jesus, please heal."
If I'm not a member of California residents who are getting a piece of that cash, what link can I click for that? Can I sign up as a California resident so I can get some of that money, huh? So I can get my 30 acres, 40 acres in a mule. See, I don't see why that's not going to, if they do it in one state, you know they're going to have to do it in other states. And guess who's going to go broke? The country's going to go broke. And I wonder why they started in Cali too. Man, y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments. That was dope. Ben Shapiro handled that like a man.